Hello, Inedigabitti, this is Nocturne Gallery. You can learn something new about art in this video, or if you just want to enjoy the paintings and music, switch the audio track to Esperanto. There you'll hear only the music and see the artworks. Relax and enjoy art your way.
All right, let's get into Gauguin today. Paul Gauguin.
A major figure, definitely.
Yeah, revolutionary, really. But we're not doing the full life story today. No travels, none of that.
No. We're focusing in sharpening the lens.
Exactly. We want to dig into his specific rules for making a painting, like the principles he laid down.
And really why he felt they were so utterly necessary. It wasn't just about aesthetics for him.
Not at all. He saw European art as, well, needing rescue, didn't he? He thought it was losing its life.
Absolutely. He saw it as stagnant, suffocated by, materialism, hypocrisy, modern society. He was searching. Desperately searching for eternal renewal.
That's a powerful phrase.
Yeah.
And he really believed in it. Creation is life, everything else is slavery. That was his line.
It sets the stakes pretty high.
It really does. So let's look at the 3 core rules he came up with. Rules for technique, but also for philosophy, really.
Yeah, the two were completely intertwined for him. Every technical choice was, in a way, a protest.
Okay, let's start with the big one. Rule number 1. Embrace the flat picture. Now, this sounds simple, but it flew in the face of everything popular back then.
Oh, completely. Remember, the Impressionists were still trying to capture reality, light, atmosphere.
Yeah.
Make it look like what you see. Gauguin just rejected that outright.
So what did he propose instead?
He basically redefined what a painting is. He said, look, a picture is essentially a flat surface covered with colors arranged in a certain order. That's it.
So forget trying to make it look like a window you're looking through.
Exactly. Forget the illusion of depth. For centuries, that was the goal. He just dismantled it.
Okay, so technically, what does that mean you don't do?
Yeah.
If you're trying to make it flat?
Well, you get rid of all the tricks. The soft shading that makes things look round. Gone.
Modeling, they call it.
Right. Modeling those subtle shifts in tone and color. He eliminated them. He wanted bold areas of color.
And lines.
The lines became critical. He talked about the strongest possible arabesque of outline, demanding a really clear silhouette.
Arabesque of outline. Okay, break that down. What does that look like for, someone just looking at the painting?
Think of a strong, flowing, unbroken line, like in stained glass, or maybe even a really clear drawing or cartoon. The outline itself is beautiful and important. It defines the shape very clearly, separates it from the background. It's not meant to blend in realistically.
So the shape, the pure form, is king.
Absolutely. And this ties into another idea he had, prioritizing the artist's inner vision.
Right. He told artists to trust their memory more than the model. That sounds risky.
It does, doesn't it? He advised painting from memory because he felt memory filters out the unimportant stuff.
So it forces you to get to the essence.
Exactly. He said memory helps the artist's sensation, intelligence, and soul dominate over just copying what the amateur eye sees. Painting from life, for him, made you a slave to the visual facts.
Memory distills it. Okay, that makes a kind of sense. But then there's this other instruction that seems weird. Let everything you do breathe peace and calm of soul. Avoid all movement. Make it totally static. Why?
It connects back to that idea of essence, I think. He was after synthesis, not analysis.
Okay, explain that. Synthesis versus analysis.
Well, think of the Impressionists again. They were analyzing light, how it flickers, changes moment by moment, capturing a fleeting instant.
Right, like a snapshot.
Gauguin rejected that. He wanted something stable, permanent. If the picture is perfectly still, perfectly calm, it forces you, the viewer, to confront a single, unchanging emotional state.
So the stillness locks in the feeling. Makes it timeless, not just a moment.
Precisely. It creates a decorative whole, an expression of one core emotion. It promotes repose, contemplation, not just observation of a busy scene. He wanted that feeling of eternity.
That search for something eternal, something deeper than just surface appearance. That leads straight into rule number 2, doesn't it? Art as a primitive protest.
Yes. He really believed that to save art, to give it life again, you couldn't go forward with more science and complexity. You had to go backward.
Backward? To where?
To what he called the primitive condition. He felt modern European culture had lost its vital strength. It had become too refined, too materialistic, too weak.
And Impressionism, for him, was part of that problem.
Yeah. He saw it as too analytical, too scientific, ultimately lacking that raw power he was looking for.
So where did he find this primitive condition, this strength?
He looked outside the mainstream, outside the modern West. He found it in, well, ancient forms, Egyptian drawings, for example.
Which are very flat, very clear.
Exactly. And Byzantine mosaics, think of that glowing color, totally non-naturalistic, symbolic.
Italian primitives too, right? Before the Renaissance got obsessed with realism.
Yes. Artists who focused on line, story, simple emotion, not perfect anatomy or perspective. He studied things like medieval stained glass intensely.
Why stained glass specifically?
Because it mastered translating light into pure, luminous color without needing depth or illusion. It's flat, but it glows. It's symbolic. That was key for him.
He felt these older, maybe simpler cultures held a kind of truth that modern society had lost.
Definitely. He found what he called inexhaustible strength and vitality there, and also in folk art, peasant art. He called it nomad primitiveness.
It sounds like a direct attack on modern civilization itself.
It absolutely was. He saw science and materialism as destroying art's symbolic power. Art was becoming just illustration, just decoration in a bad sense.
So by rejecting realism,
By rejecting that need to copy the world exactly, he freed himself.
freed himself to do what?
To focus on the symbolic, to find lines he called noble, colors he called potent. Lines and colors that could directly stir human emotions.
But not just show you what something looks like, but make you feel something directly.
Exactly. It's about hitting you with the force of a myth or a powerful dream, not just showing you a tree that looks like a tree. He wanted to get beyond mere sight.
It's almost like creating a spiritual tool, not just a picture.
I think that's how he saw it. Which brings us neatly to his third rule, the decorative strength of monumental art.
Right, he wasn't just tweaking his style. He wanted to elevate the whole purpose of painting.
His ambition was huge. He wanted his art to have the scale, the importance of religious art. Monumental decoration.
What does that mean, practically? Monumental decoration.
It means thinking about how the painting works on a wall in a space. He wanted to solve the problem of covering a flat wall with color and design in a way that, well, respected the wall.
So not making the wall disappear into an illusion.
Precisely. He didn't want a fake window. He wanted the painting to feel like it belonged on that flat surface, to be part of the architecture almost.
Making the painting enhance the flatness of the wall, not fight it.
Yes. Using those bold, flat colors and strong outlines reinforces that. It creates a unified decorative scheme. He felt his style was inherently architectural.
And this relates back to finding the essential form.
Absolutely. By stripping away realistic detail, by focusing on bold shapes and flat color, he felt he could get to the core essence of a subject, the form that holds all the meaning.
He actually imagined rooms filled with his paintings.
Yeah, he said something like a room with 20 of his paintings would have an immense effect of monumental power. The whole room would become this single, powerful statement.
Okay, but here's the bit I still grapple with sometimes. How does focusing on decoration lead to deeper meaning? Usually we think of decoration as superficial.
That's the paradox, isn't it? But for Gauguin, decoration wasn't superficial. It was the path to depth.
How?
Because, he argued, focusing on decoration, on harmony, on the chosen architectural proportions of form, on color relationships, forces the artist away from just copying.
Okay.
It forces the artist to make choices based on feeling, on intuition, on finding that essential form and color that expresses the inner idea. It requires a kind of superior understanding.
An understanding that isn't just visual.
Exactly. It's an understanding that comes from the soul, from the conviction of the artist. And he believed that this understanding, achieved through decoration, could be transmitted directly to the viewer.
Bypassing the logical brain, maybe. Going straight for the feeling.
That's the idea. It's a direct language of form and color, communicating the artist's inner state, their conviction. It reconciles form and color to express something profound.
So the flatness, the primitive look, the decoration, it was all in service of expressing that inner truth, that conviction.
That's the core of it. It wasn't about sight. It was about insight made visible.
We've covered the three rules then. Make it flat, look to the primitive, aim for monumental decoration. It really paints a picture of an artist totally unwilling to compromise.
Completely. He was legendary for it. He didn't care about pleasing polite society or following the trends, scientific or otherwise.
It gave his work that incredible force. You feel his conviction.
He actually said once his major sin was just having ideals and refusing to play the game, society's game. That refusal, that integrity, you see it in every brushstroke.
That's a powerful thought. So maybe something for you listening to think about. Gauguin said, a good picture should be the equivalent of a good action.
Linking morality and technique.
Yeah. If an artist's beliefs, their convictions, really are visible in how they paint their lines, their colors, their choices, what kinds of moral rules or convictions do you think the most powerful art of our own time reveals? What actions are equivalent to today's art?
That's a heavy question to leave people with.
Well, Gauguin wasn't afraid of heavy questions.
Yeah.